Okay, so welcome back, and now what we're going to do is start talking about triangles. Okay, so again, I'm going to basically define all of the different types of triangles you can come across, and again, you're going to write this down. So if you're taking notes, then pause and write down the things that I say. I'm not going to take the time to write things out. Okay, just so you know. Okay, so triangles, again, one of the polygons that we talk about is triangles. Now, the thing about triangles is that it has three sides, right? That's the definition of a triangle, and therefore it also has three angles, okay? So, now the thing about triangles is that there's many different ways of categorizing, classifying triangles, but the good thing is that there's only one formula for area that for all triangles, okay? Now, equilateral triangle. Again, equilateral just comes from, again, it means equal sides. So an equilateral triangle is a triangle that has all three sides of the same length, okay? Now, the cool thing about equilateral triangles is that equilateral triangles are also equiangular. Equiangular triangle is where all three angles, interior angles, are the same, equiangular, okay? So equilateral triangles are also equiangular. In fact, the triangle that's equiangular has all three interior angles are 60 degrees because you're taking 180 dividing by 3, right? Because they're all the same. So it'd be 60, 60, 60. And if it's an equiangular triangle, by the way, you also automatically get that it is equilateral because all equilateral triangles are also equiangular. Okay, now, isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two sides that are the same length. Okay? So an isosceles, again, is a triangle where two sides are the same length. Okay? Now, the cool thing about isosceles triangles is that if the two sides are the same length, the two base angles must also be the same measure. So, if I have an equilateral triangle, then I know all of the interior angles are 60. So therefore, it is equiangular. Okay? So again, all three sides are the same. Okay, now if it is an isosceles triangle, then I know these two sides, let's say, are equal, but then I also know that the base angles are also equal. Okay, so that's one of the results of an isosceles triangle. Okay, now, a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle is a triangle in which all three sides have different lengths. Okay? That's what we call a scalene triangle. Now, triangles can also be classified by the angles that they have. Okay? So, you can have an acute triangle. An acute triangle is where all of the interior angles are acute. What does that mean? Between 0 and 90. Okay? For example, this equilateral triangle is also an acute triangle because all of the angles are less than 90 degrees and greater than 0. Obviously, if you have an angle that is 0, you don't have a triangle. Okay? But less than 90. So all of the angles, all of the interior angles have to be less than 90. Okay? Now, an obtuse triangle is a triangle in which one of the interior angles is obtuse, which means greater than 90 but less than 180. Okay? And so, for example, if I have something that looks like this, right? Now, this would be an obtuse triangle because we have one angle that is definitely bigger than 90 and the other two obviously is less than 90. Okay? And then of course, if you don't have an acute triangle or an obtuse triangle, you could have a right triangle. Okay, those are only three classifications, right? So it's either going to be acute, or it's going to be obtuse, or it's going to be a right triangle. So a right triangle is where you have one angle that is 90 degrees, a right angle. Okay? Now, when you have a right triangle, you have special naming for the different sides of the triangle. Okay? These two sides that are adjacent to the 90-degree angle, the right angle, are called the legs. Those are called the legs of the triangle. The side that is across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. Okay, so make sure you know those. Okay, and that's it. Those are the different classifications of triangles that you will need to know. Okay, have a great day.